Okay, so in the beginning, I wanted to just show where Afghanistan is located. So this is Afghanistan's map. And as you can see, the countries that around Afghanistan are Iran from West region, and also Pakistan, somehow India, China, and other countries, including Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and also Tajikistan. So basically, Afghanistan is located in the heart of Asia, and mostly in books, it is also called heart of the Asia. So it's kind of like in the center part of the Asia. Also, the Kabul is the okay, now I forgot the word of the capital. Yep. Yeah, Kabul is the capital of Afghanistan. And you also can see it in the map. So yeah, basically this is the map of Afghanistan.
Just hit the space bar. You should go to the next one.
Yeah.
If you hit the space bar, it should go to the next
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is also Afghanistan's flag, and each color, it means one, it's related to one part of the history of this country. So the black is the times that like Afghanistan was under the invasion of so many different countries, such as Britain, Russia, and also a lot of the times that like we had a lot of like so many years of civil war and internal war. So that's kind of showing the dark times and and that's kind of like represented by black. And then the red part is kind of the representation of the people who sacrificed for the country, and then it's for remembering their sacrifices. And the green is kind of also the symbol of a bright future and prosperous and green future for the country. You can see there is kind of also the symbol of like the picture of wheat, and that shows that Afghanistan is a very agriculture based country, and a lot, like a huge part of the economy of the country is kind of dependent on the agriculture. Also about the geopolitics of the country, as I said, it's located in Central Asia, and also it has 34 provinces. And a fact point is that Afghanistan is kind of a mountainous country, and there is no way to the ocean. So it's kind of like you can see a lot of like mountains and deserts also, but like not a lot of, there are a lot of rivers, but there's no way to the ocean. And Afghanistan has also 35.5 million population. About the religion in Afghanistan, 99.9% of the people are Muslim, and also the religion, like the official religion is Islam. And the official languages, there is, Afghanistan has a lot of different ethnicities, and that's why there is a lot of different languages, but two official languages are Persian, that people also call it Dari, and Pashto. So these two are also like named in the laws and stuff as the official languages of the country. And also about the governmental system, it's a Republican democratic system, and also we have a presidential form of government. So yeah, unfortunately, recently there has been a lot of changes in all of these things. So there's nothing kind of, everything is kind of uncertain that what will be the system of the government, but for a long time, for like past 20 years, it has been like this. And we will see what happens next. About the economy, Afghanistan has a lot of, as I said, that it's like the huge part of the economy of the country is kind of related to or dependent on agriculture. And that's like 80% of their revenues are kind of generated from agriculture sector. But besides that, it's a very rich country if we see it, kind of analyze it from the point of it has a lot of different underground mines, and some of the most important one of those is Lajuri. I don't know if I'm kind of pronouncing them correct or not, but another one is ruby, garnet, emerald, and the country is kind of very rich regarding the underground mines. And it's like also like a lot of research is saying that one of the reasons that Afghanistan has been like invaded so many times from different countries is also the underground mines, and also the very specific location that this country has, because it has kind of way to the very empowered countries in the region. And whoever has power in Afghanistan, they can kind of like be like have the impact or effect on other countries and power on other countries in the region too. So yeah, these are some important information about the economy of the country. And the music, I think the music in Afghanistan is kind of so much different from the Western music. We have so many different instruments, and I wanted to kind of bring like a little video or something of the music, but then I thought that like, yeah, with Zoom and everything, it's gonna mess up everything. So I was like, yeah, we can just like focus and just in some pictures to show the music of Afghanistan, but it's way more different than the Western music. And it's kind of like Afghanistan music is kind of also similar to the Indian music. And also, yeah, I think it's like the most similar music to Afghanistan is India. So yeah, in the picture you can see some of the instruments, and one of the very famous singers of Afghanistan, which is Aryana Saeed. She's very famous, and she's also a feminist and is working about women's rights. So it's kind of music and also the activism, which makes her very special. And another important part of our presentation today is food, because like I was talking with my friends earlier that like last night when I was preparing this presentation and I was searching for pictures of food and stuff, I was like, oh my God, I need to go back. Yeah, I was missing the food and stuff. So in Afghanistan, we like our food is very dependent on bread, and we have so many different kind of bread that like people make it at home, or like some people also buy it, but mostly they make it at home. So in this picture, you can see like two different kinds of bread, kind of three different kinds of bread. And then the main part of the food in Afghanistan is kind of rice, meat, and then like preparing meat like in different kinds, not all the time like as a steak, but also like soups, and then like curries with rice, and also beans. These are very like the main food in Afghanistan. But as I say that like there is no time of like having lunch or dinner or breakfast without bread. It's like heavily dependent on bread. Yeah, and also vegetables, which is kind of also prevalent, and people are using a lot of vegetables, but like besides the rice and other food, like there's no food without them. And mostly people are not using the the table or like the chairs or like a table for eating. We said like we have something that like I couldn't find the name in English, something that we put it on the floor and then like just to be like clean and stuff, and then like everyone sits around it and we all like eat together. So it's kind of like different than here. Yeah.
Is it like a blanket?
It's kind of something like that. Like
Okay.
it's a fabric and it's just something that's like clean.
Yeah.
Because people like, yeah, like you don't want to put your food on the floor. So that's kind of from that aspect. But like all the people will like the family will sit around it and then they will eat. But like as we are like seeing these days, a lot of people are also like changing this system and style, and they're like using tables and chairs and stuff. So yeah, it's changing, but the traditional way is like this. And about the clothes, we have so much different colors in clothes, and most of the times the people like this is a very traditional type of the clothes. Like people are not using it in the very like normal days because it's like heavy and it's like very, I don't know, like fancy with a lot of different colors and different little things like embroideries and stuff. And most of them are handmade, like people make it at home and at their homes and stuff with the very basic machines and things. So yeah, as you can see, it's very colorful. It's very, I don't know. I think like the only, like the way that I always talk about the clothes, the traditional clothes, I'm like, it's very happy because it's full of colors. And most of the times people make it with the colors of the flag for some of the festivals and some of the events. Mostly people are using it for the ceremonies and festivals, and specifically the some of the official festivals that we have, official and religious. So yeah, people are using it, but not for the daily life because they are kind of different. And also people are kind of modernizing it. So you can see that like the other pictures that I showed you, it was kind of like more traditional, but like in these ones, while you can find the same details, but it's kind of like modernized, that like some people, mostly women who are working in the offices and like different places, they are trying to like wear these to keep the culture and also like have it like in a different form and like the way that it's like more comfortable for them. About the and also please, if you have any question, just on people on Zoom, you can unmute yourself and ask, and you also can jump in and talk. About the festivals that we have two Eids. These are two festivals that they are mostly religious. So the first Eid is after the Ramadan, the month that people are fasting. And then there's 3 days of people are like the whole country, like the organizations and the governmental or non-governmental, all of them are off. And then people wear new clothes, they have a lot of dry fruit, and they design their houses, they go to meet with people, their families, friends, and children are receiving some money as like gifts from the family. And also, oh yeah, I think we have a question. Yeah. Oh, okay. I just didn't want to ignore it. Yeah, so the first Eid is after Ramadan, and another one is kind of 2 months later than that. So it's just again the same ceremony and the same festival. People are like the purpose of it is just to have some for the people to give the opportunity to go and meet with their friends and families. Everyone is kind of like happy. Girls and women are putting henna in their hands, and kind of it's similar to the tattoo, but it's kind of temporary. And people are trying to have a lot of candies, a lot of dry fruits, as you can see in the picture. And the second one is the New Year, which is not a religious festival, but it's more like a Persian culture. And in New Year, I don't know why it's not working. Oh yeah, it's working now. So in New Year, we have two different kind of tradition. The first one is that like everyone tries to make like a little table in their house. And in that picture, you can see that like all the things that are on the table, they start the names of all of them starts with S. And there should be like 7 specific things, like apple in Persian starts with S, and stuff like that. So they just design it there, and they have something that is made from wheat, and people grow it in their houses, and they just put it there as a symbol of like celebrating the new year, the spring, the fresh air after that, like snow goes away and every place is like coming green. So people are mostly celebrating that, like the change of the season and this beginning of a new year. And this one, the other one that you can see, it's a very also Persian culture, that like there's 7 different kind of dry fruit that they mix it and make a drink from it, that it doesn't have any sugar inside of it. It's very natural, but it's so sweet and it's so delicious. I cannot tell you how delicious it is. Yeah, but it's like very nutritious, and also something to just something that brings the families together in the spring, and people are going out for picnics, and like no one is the culture is like no one should be sitting at their homes, and they should go to the nature and enjoy it and celebrate it. Yeah, I think it was like some basic information about the culture. And now about the language. I don't know how much time I have. Yeah, great. So yeah, about the language, about Persian, I can say that the one of the fact is that we start writing from right to left. So all the notebooks, the books, and everything for us, it starts the other way around, from right to left. And yeah, when I started to learn English, it was very difficult for me, because like we write from the other way around, and then it was like starting to write from left to right was so difficult.
When did you start to learn English?
Yeah, I kind of started late because yeah, I don't know. We have one English subject in the school, but it's very kind of like basic and like learning ABCD and stuff like that. But like I started to kind of like, I committed my time to learn when I was in my undergrad. So during the time that I was studying for my law degree, I started to learn English too. And basically like the total years that I kind of invested for learning English was 2.5 or 3 years. And yeah, I learned it in my undergrad.
You have a question.
Mhm.
Do you use the same Latin alphabet as we do here, or is the alphabet different?
No, I'm going to show you it's completely different. And kind of, the Arabic is kind of similar to the alphabet that we use, but Persian has they are the same, some of them, but like Persian has its specific alphabet, and like some of them that Arabic doesn't have it, and some that like there is in the Arabic but not in the Persian, but it's totally different than English, and I'm gonna show you in a second. So and also we have some special alphabets that they have special sounds that I noticed that we don't have it in English. And most of the time with my friends, I'm forcing them to to say some of the words and that they don't know how to they basically don't have the practice of those sounds. So yeah, it's kind of joke between me and my friends, but some of them are like I wrote it in English, but the sound is, for example, he, like khub. Khub. Khub is kind of like from this part of the throat, and then like half, like qurut. It's kind of a snack. Qurut. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, and also ghain. These are like different ones that I know Turkish, I know Urdu, I know English, but like I couldn't find like these sounds in most of them. I don't know about like French or Spanish and stuff, but like these are, I found them like so like special for Persian. These are some of them. So yeah, this is the alphabet in Persian. And as you see, it started from right to left, and it's totally different than English. And also, I think it's very different than the Chinese or Urdu, because I saw that it's like completely different. So I can try to read it, some of them for you. It starts with the Aleph and B. I think some of them you can find it so similar to English, like B, or like T, for example, S. We have Sin, Shin, like SH. So you can find like most of them, but the ones that they are very specifically for Persian language. And I don't know, do you want me to read all of them for you?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes, okay. Yeah, so it starts from Aleph, B, P, T, S, Jim, Che, He, He, Dal, Zal, Re, Ze, J, Sin, Shin, Sat, Dat, Toy, Zoi, Ein, Rein, Fei, Kaf, Kaf, Gaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Wow, Hiduchishme, and Ya. Was it kind of familiar to your ears?
Some of them. Some of them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
What was
most.
what was the second to last one then?
Oh, hey,
The long one.
The long one, yeah.
yeah, this one?
I don't.
Yeah, wow. Hiduchishme?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. We can read it like in two different versions. You can say it hey or Hiduchishme.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like that's why, yeah. So yeah, basically it's the alphabet in Persian, and you can see that like some of these, some of them are not like specifically from Persian, and they came from Arabic. So yeah, like you can see that it's way too much different, like visually and like regarding to the sound. From they are so different than English or other ones.
When did you learn like the other alphabet that we use here, or did you learn both of these at the same time, or?
Oh,
When did
you
learn
mean the
English
Persian?
alphabet?
Hmm?
When did you learn the English alphabet?
Oh, the English alphabet I learned in the school. Like, I think it was, hmm, we didn't have it in the primary. Now we have the English subject in the primary school too, like kids are learning, but in my time we didn't have it. So I think we started learning English alphabet at grade 4 or 5. I don't remember it so good, but like I think it was like that. But now most of the, specifically the private schools, they are teaching English from the primary school. Yeah. For example, my nephew, he's 6 years old, and he knows a lot of different words in English because they just started from the primary school, and it's way different for them because like I started learning, like I knew the alphabet and stuff, like the basic ones from school, but like the profession, like more advanced English, what I started in my undergrad, which is like so late comparing to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 2 minutes. Okay. I just also in the last 2 minutes, I wanted to kind of focus on the basic conversation, and in Persian, hi is salam. Salam means like health, like the person is kind of basically wishing you health and a healthy life. So basically the meaning of it is that. So that's like whoever says like salam, people are like, okay, like the culture says that you will not receive any harm from them because they are wishing you health, and it's some kind of like a symbol of like transferring the message of peace. And so we can say salam, and then bye is kind of longer. Khuda Hafiz. It has one of those special sounds. I don't know, like, yeah, it's kind of difficult for when we practice it with my friends. Thank you is tashakkur. Tashakkur. Yeah, tashakkur. Yeah. So, and also if you say like, how are you? In Persian, you can say حال شما چطوره? Something like this. And also the local one is like shorter, that you can say here, you can see this is like the longer version of it. Hi, how are you? Salam, حال شما چطور است? But like if you make it more local, you say salam, chetori. Salam, chetori. And if you say I'm good, thank you, you can say just like خوبم تشکر. خوبم تشکر. It's again the thank you is تشکر. And if you want to like learn about that, like you want to ask someone about their name, you can just basically say that اسم شما چی است? Or you can just, I wanted to say this in like I wanted to say my the sentence in Persian. Yeah, you can also say that اسم شما. It's just basically asking that like, what's your name? So yeah, so you can say salam for hi, khuda hafiz for bye, tashakkur for thank you. And yeah, this is like basically the conversation. And you can see here that I say thank you, but also tashakkur. Yeah, okay, now you know that like both of them have the same meaning, tashakkur and thank you. So thank you for your attention. This is my presentation. Thank you, people on Zoom, and please feel free to ask me if you have any questions.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny. I'm also second year grad student, and I moved
here to Mankato a year ago. So I have only been here like a little bit over a year now. And so Finland is usually not the first country that comes to people's minds when they think about Europe, because it's up north, as you can see on the map. And it's a very small country, actually. Like Tahmina told that they had over 30 million people living in Afghanistan, but Finland only has 5.5 million people. And the official name is Republic of Finland, and it's kind of called like the land of thousands of lakes, because we have like over 100,000 of lakes, like kind of like Minnesota has 10,000 lakes here. And Finland is very similar to Minnesota, I think, like the nature and the climate. So our Independence Day is in December. We got our independence in 1917 from Russia. We have also been part of Sweden and then Russia, and then we finally got our independence. And since the 90s, we have been part of European Union. And there you can see the Finnish flag. It's called Siniristilippu, which means blue cross flag. And it also has the meaning. The blue cross means that our main religion is Christianity. And the blue color kind of is about the lakes that we have and the rivers, and then the white background is the snow that we get a lot. And then you can also see the coat of arms with the Finnish lion, that is like the national symbol. And here I listed some of the like holidays that we have and celebrate. And first you can see the English word, and then I also put those in Finnish. So Christmas is very big thing in Finland, because Santa Claus is from Finland, from the Arctic Circle, that is like somewhere like around here. And you can actually visit the Saunas like village in one town up north. So that is like huge thing that many people do when they visit Finland, and when Finnish people visit Lapland. And Lapland is like the northern part of Finland. And other very famous celebration is the midsummer celebration called Juhannus. It's always the last weekend of June. And then we have like these bonfires, usually by the lake. We like go to the cabins and just like celebrate because it's the lightest time of the year. So we celebrate that. And then I mentioned that our Independence Day is in December, and that is also very big part of like Finnish identity. I think that our Independence Day is very different than American one. Here it's like all about partying and fireworks and that, but for us it's more serious, I think. The very traditional Independence Day is that during the day you watch this one famous war movie during the day, and then in the evening our president hosts this like independence celebration ball in the president's castle, and that is like streamed live on TV, and usually people like gather around together and watch the celebration and judge the dresses and everything. So yeah, and then sauna is very big part of Finnish culture. And if someone doesn't know, like sauna is basically a room with machine that makes the room like hot, and it can be electric, yeah, or you can use like actually like firewood, and that has been part of our culture like for a long time, and it's also part of the culture in Sweden, and it's very Nordic thing. And the avanto, I didn't have like English word for that, but that is basically during winter when the lakes are frozen, we dig a hole to the lake and go and swim in the icy water. It's actually pretty fun. It makes you feel pretty good. And here you can see some of the pictures. People actually like doing it. You can see the facial expression. It feels like that. And there are some pictures of different types of saunas. Usually they are by the lake. They can look like that. They can float on the lake, like kind of like if you have like big deck. Is it deck? Huh? Duck. Yeah. So we have all the different kinds of saunas.
In the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, and in Helsinki we have this like sightseeing like Ferris wheel, and one of the cabins is actually sauna, and you can do that. So yeah, and here you can just see some of the pictures of like Finland. In summer we have 4 seasons. Summer is quite short, but it's actually kind of nice. It's kind of the same as in Minnesota, but it's not that humid, so it's actually a little bit nicer, I think. And here you can see the lakes and kind of like very traditional Finnish scenery. We have lots of nature. Our cities are not that big. And then winter is very like how we like advertise Finland to tourists, like snow, winter sports, and obviously Christmas, Santa Claus. And then here you can also see the Nordic lights. I have only seen those once, because usually you have to go up north to Lapland to see them, and I have never been there, but they are pretty amazing. So
Is it something like natural or
yes,
magnetic waves? Magnet waves.
yeah, it's and also like Norway and Sweden have them.
Is it occasionally you go way up north, see them
Hmm?
in Canada?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And here you can see some of the food pictures. Our food is kind of very different than American food, but also not that much. But I had pictures of like some very traditional Finnish foods, like Karelian pies. It's this salty kind of bread that you put like butter with eggs on top of it. And then you can see rye bread. That's very like common in Finland. And soups, especially with different types of fish, because we have the sea, we have the access to the sea. And also we have very like clean nature, and we have this like, it's called like every man's right, that every forest that is not owned by some individual person, you can go and get berries, mushrooms, everything. So people eat a lots of like lingonberry, blueberries, raspberries, like all the things that you can get. And I think that's kind of amazing that we still have that clean nature. And here you can see a little bit more of food.
pictures, Finnish licorice, the candy that I think some people just love and some people just hate. I love it. But yeah, and then in the corner you can see this weird black sausage. It's called black sausage, and that's from, yeah, it's very traditional Finnish food, but it's not that in common anymore. Many people don't like it because it's like you have blood inside, so many people feel like it's a little bit disgusting, I think. Yeah, and then we eat a lot of pies. We have like sweet pies, like blueberry pies, and then salty pies with like ham or mushrooms, cheese, all that. And then here are some fun facts about Finland. And actually, it's like some UN funded report of countries, and Finland has been the happiest country in the world for 4 years straight. And the second happiest was Denmark, and then Switzerland, and 9 out of 10 happiest countries in the world were European countries. And then Moomins, you can see the characters up there. It's this very famous, it's for children, but also like adults love it. We have books, TV series, we have like plates, cups, everything, clothes. Every Finnish person knows Moomins, and that's also one thing that is like, it's known like globally too, and especially like Japanese tourists are very into like our Moomins stuff. And we also have the theme park that is like only about Moomins. And
Disneyland, Finland.
yeah, yeah, Finnish
The
Disneyland.
Moomin houses?
Hmm?
The Moomin houses that you have?
Oh yeah, and then children, like, what is the name of the playhouse?
Playhouse.
Yeah, some children have like their playhouses, but they are like tiny Moomin's house. I had one of those, and yeah. And we have some traditional clothing, but we don't really wear that at all, like in everyday life or even like celebration. It's not a thing anymore. But here you can see the traditional clothing, and then on the corner there, it's clothing of Sami people, that is indigenous Finnish people that are living in Lapland up north. And then I have to mention the concept of Finnish sisu. It's very like specific concept of like perseverance. And it's like, I had to like Google it and how to explain that, because it's, you just kind of know it if you are from Finland. And it's like strength of will and determination and courage. And I think the background is with our history, because Finland used to be a very poor country, and we had difficult wars with against Soviet Union. We also had our civil war, and it's like cold and dark and all that. So people needed to have sisu to like get through all of that. So that's a very big part of like Finnish identity. And then I listed some of the like biggest differences with the US that I experienced when I came here. And first thing is the food. I feel like food is more processed here. And in Finland, you eat more maybe like berries, and food is not that processed and more locally, I think. But it's also easier because Finland is like small country. And meal sizes too. Like when you go to a restaurant, you basically the meal size is maybe half of the American size of a meal. And I don't know if I have ever been able to finish a meal here because it's just a lot of food. And then the small talk culture, because we don't really have that in Finland. I feel like it's getting there now because it's more international, all like it's getting more international all the time, but we are really not used to it. So if you go to an elevator with some other person, you don't really like start talking or be like, how are you or anything. You just kind of like try to like ignore that. So yeah, that's very different.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
Oh, like in the contrast with this, in Afghanistan, people, when they come out of the elevator, they are like lifelong friends.
Yeah, it's very opposite.
Not like that.
Hmm?
It's not like that at all.
Yeah, no. And then the coffee culture too, because like Finnish people love coffee. That I
Nordics
think,
have the top 5 spots.
Hmm?
The Nordics have the top 5 spots.
yeah, like Nordic countries, like people just drink coffee all the time. And I really miss the culture because we have like this kind of habit that we would just go and have a cup of coffee and eat like a slice of cake or something with a friend. And I feel like just doing that is not that big of a thing here, or at least I haven't experienced that. And coffee is something that I actually like. I like Finnish coffee more than American one, and I have to like get that from Finland. But yeah. Then this is a little bit about our education system. Finnish education system is pretty famous. It's highly like valued, and it has been for a long time. And we go to preschool when we are like 6 years old. I was 5 because I'm born in November, so kind of depends, but yeah. And then our grade school after preschool, and then we go to high school when we're 16, and our high school is 3 years. And after high school, you can go to university or University of Applied Sciences. And bachelor's degrees are usually 3 or 4 years. And then master's degrees are like 2 more years to the bachelor's degree. And we have free education. We have free universities. We don't have tuition fees at all. And I think until high school, our books and like pencils, everything is covered too. And then to high school, we have free school meals. And in universities, I think the basic meal is probably like €2.60. So it's cheaper, and I really like the free school meals because that's big thing to have like equal access to people to education, that also the children can like focus because they are getting food for sure. How can I go back?
On the backspace.
Yeah, and I was supposed to mention that like the pictures that you see on the right, you can see the white hat that we get when we graduate from high school. It's different than the hat that people have here, and we only get the hat and not the gown. Is it gown? Yeah. And then on the left, you can see those overalls that are part of like our university culture. Like depending on your school and major, there are different colors, and you can get like different like marks on them, patches, yeah. And then you wear them to like parties, events, everything. But I don't know if they have those in any other Nordic countries, but they're kind of fun.
You have a couple of comments in the.
Oh yeah, there is a comment that this one person was living in Finland for a year, and then how like children were like walking or riding their bikes to school, and like that is one thing that I noticed here. Like you don't really see children without adults just going to school, but in Finland we just like go to school without like parents driving us. Yeah. And yeah, we don't have school buses. We take normal bus if we need to, or tram, or yeah. And anyone can just add any comments to the chat, and I will try to remember to check them.
With the chat too.
Yeah. Can't see them all, so. One thing that I could mention is like when we go to university, we don't have dorms. So students just kind of go and live independently, maybe with roommates, but usually I would say more and more people just like live by themselves right away. So that's a little bit different.
It's like frozen.
Oh,
Oh, there is. Just click on you.
yeah. And this is the language part that I have. And we have two official languages that are Finnish and Swedish because of the fact that Finland was part of Sweden for a long time. And we have the same alphabet as English, except we have A, Ö, and Swedish O, which you pronounce O, like it's the same. Yeah.
That's where my family's from. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then you can see like some of the basics, like hello, bye. And then with the good night, you can see how we use those like different alphabet, and you would pronounce them that like hyvää yötä. I can hear the difference between like O with dots and normal O, how you pronounce that, but like I guess that might be different for people who are not used to using like A with dots or O with dots. And the picture there, I think that was kind of funny because like Finnish can be very hard language to learn, or at least you have to like spend some time with that, because like that's a good example how we have this one sentence, but it will mean like all those different things that is listed there, depending on how you read it. Because like the word uusi means number 6, but also the spruce. And then your moon, like the word uu is moon, but when you add the si to the end, you will get your to there, because we don't have like only your moon, but we also add something to the end of the word. Yes, that can be very confusing to people who are trying to learn Finnish.
So you know it based on the word itself or based on the sentence that they will be put?
I would have to see the sentence,
Yeah.
because like if I can only see that, I know that it can mean like many different things, but I wouldn't know like which one is it. Yeah. And here, like if you want to say hello, you can say moi. And when you say bye, you can just say moi moi. That's, I think, fairly easy. And then good morning is huomenta. Good night is hyvää yötä. How are you? Mitä kuuluu? And thank you and please is kiitos. We only have one word for those. And then yes is kyllä or joo. And then no is ei. And we always pronounce our words just like they are, like how we read them. So we don't have like same kind of like pronunciation rules that English has. And then here are some examples of like sentences, how you can use Finnish, like the words that I had on the last slide. And then this picture kind of like also shows how Finnish can be kind of complicated sometimes, because we love to have like very long words, because we put words together. Like in English, if you would say school meal, it's two like different words, but in Finnish we would put those together. And actually this airplane, jet, turbine, engine word is, I think it's the longest word in the world.
Can you say it?
In Finnish. Lentokone, suihkuturbiini, apumekaanikko, aliupseerioppilas. It's
Can you write it without like seeing it?
yeah, if I would just like remember it, but it's so long. Yeah. So that is also something that can be like confusing. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, there was a good mention, someone mentioned in the chat that Finnish language has no gender. So we basically only have one pronoun that we use. And I think that's really nice actually, because that includes everybody. So we don't have he or she, we only have hän. And yeah, we don't have that many like specific like sounds like that you had, but our R is very different than English R, because English R is very soft, but Finnish R is like R, so it's different. Yeah, but thank you. And if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. And also, if anyone is interested in like studying abroad in Finland, we can have a meeting. And I did my undergrad in Metropolia, the school that you can go and study abroad. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, once again, thank you everybody that tuned in on Zoom and for coming in person. We will be having these every month, so look out for International Education Week in November. We're looking at, I think it's November 18th is the Wednesday. It's the Wednesday right before 17th. It's the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. And we're gonna have another one of these sessions. We're thinking some more European languages along French, German, Spanish, something like that. So look out for information about those.